Hey guys, how you guys doing? So this is the second video for the Unix tutorials, and in this episode I will go over some basic. I'll explain some basics in Unix file systems, and then I'll go over the couple of the basic basic commands in Unix on, like, how to go through each directories and how to create folders and create files and such and such. Before that, I would like to talk about my Facebook page, facebook.com/FuxiCast. If you guys can subscribe to that or like this page, that would be great. Again, it's easier for me to distribute my recordings on the Facebook platform. Also, please subscribe to the WordPress if you haven't done so, and also my YouTube channel, youtube.com/UJDesigner85. Excuse me. So yeah, that would be great. So let's go ahead and talk about the Unix file system. So I'll expand this one. Okay, my system's a little bit slow, so bear with me here. Okay, let's do it clear. Okay. So in Unix system, there's like multiple files, right? So I go to the root directories that I explained last time. Excuse me. And then last time I spoke about like the Vim editor, which we didn't install, but I already installed it during my Vim tutorials. But if you want to install it, you just do sudo apt-get install and then Vim. Okay, that's usually that's how you usually install most of the programs. You have a sudo and then apt-get and then install and then the program name. So that's basically how you install programs on Linux or Unix. But they are more like so when you install it this way, it's more they install it with default settings. If you want a more customized installation, you might have to do something. You might have to install the programs differently. But for simplicity's sake, we're just going to use that. Excuse me. Okay, so in the Unix file system, there's the directory, there's the regular file, there's the character file, and there's the block file, and there's link, and there's socket. And really, in terms of like for someone that writes like a shell scripts, or for someone to use like Unix system to do the basic tasks, you really just need to know about the link, the regular files, and the directory. But for system administrators roles, you might need to know a lot more about the file system. But my background, I'm not really a system admin, so I don't go into those details. I would like to learn more about them, but that's not my area. Anyway, so we're at the root directory, and these are all these directories. You can tell it's the directory by the first letter here. It says D. So D means it's a directory. Okay. Excuse me. And L means link. Okay. So the first letter, when you do ls-ltr, which is for listing out all the files in a long format, sorted by time, in reverse. So L is for long listing, T is for sorting by time, by the modification time, and then R is for reverse. Okay. Usually when you do a sort by time, usually sort by like from ascending to basically from descending, basically. But if you do it with the reverse, it will do the ascending order. Okay. And then now you see that all these directories, right? Really, you have to look at this one, user. Okay, this is basically where most of the users' applications are installed. So like, anything that's like a system-wide application, it will be installed in the user directory. These, I'm not familiar with these directories, but this one, var, This is for like storing like basically like malicious stuff like logs, emails and such. So it's like not like a it doesn't contain any like a program file. It's just like some files that's that might be generated by some programs and such and such. Okay, and then home is under the home. This contains all the home directories of different users. Okay, and lib is all the commons, the shared libraries for the for different users. Binaries. Bin is all the contains like executables in there. So if we go to bin, okay, and you see all these stuff. These are all commands. Okay, so let's see if we ls. Let me see if I can find something. Let's not do by time. Let's do something by ls minus l. Okay. Okay, you see all these are all commands. Okay, the tar, the touch, scd, ps. These are all commands. So in the bin library, in the bin directory, it's all like binaries, executable binaries. Okay, and you know that it's executable binary because they have x. See, they have x executable permissions. Okay. Alright, the next one is the proc. This is for like a processor's information where you can get like a CPU informations, and you can get like different mounting informations in there. Okay, system. Okay, this one is for the root users directory. So so when the root user logs in, it will go to this directory, and it contains like all the special commands that are only used by root user. Yeah, we can even go in there right now because I could go into there, but let me see. This is how you change the to different users. Sudo -u, and then root is the user, and then you just -i. And if we go into if we do a pwd, we are in the /root. Okay. That's where it is. That's the root's home directory basically. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. Okay. Okay, and then sbin is for the I believe it's not too sure about that one. Boot up. This is all for devices, etc. Okay, this is one. TMP is for all the temporary files in there. Okay, so this is like file system wise. In terms of like non-system admin role, you don't have to know exactly these directories, but for system admins, they know these stuff very very well. Okay, so now we go to some like basic commands. Okay, so if we want to know like how long this Linux box has been running, how long this Linux box has been on for, like how many minutes, how many hours, how many days, we can type in the command uptime. Okay. So it tells you like for how long this system has been on. Okay, up for like 20 hours already. Okay, so that's what it is. And then if you want to find out who's logged in into this system, you can do a W command. Okay, so you will know like currently it's just me. I'm the only person that's logged in because it's a local system. But on a server system, like where everybody can log in, you will see that multiple people that are in there. You'll see that what's the last command they just did, how many CPUs have been doing, what's the idle time, and when did they log in, and where did they log in from, and such. Okay. If you want to find out your environment variables, right, you can do env for environment variables. Environment variables are basically a bunch of setups that you use to configure when you log in. So like basically, for if you want to know like which user is currently logged in, like what's your current username, your user environment variable will tell you that my username is UJDesign85. Okay, if you want to know like what kind of shell that you're using, you can look at the shell variable, and it will tell you the you're using bash. Okay, I'll explain what different shells there is, and well, basically this the shells I know of is this corn shell, and there's born again shell. Okay, which is bash. Okay, so this is a corn shell, KSH, and there's a born again shell, which is a bash. Okay, personally I like bash because like in corn shell you can really like tap to autocomplete different directories, different names, and such and such. So I find that really annoying. I don't like typing out the whole name of the file, so I like to do the tapping. So that's why I like. So my preference is bash. Okay, and I recommend bash basically. Okay, mail. This is where all your mails will reside in. So if you open this one, right now probably I don't have anything in there. Okay, nothing in there. Yeah, but if you have something in there, right, it will tell you that you have some messages in your mail, and it will show you this file. And when you open this file, you'll see your messages in there. So that's basically it. Path basically give you the it's basically it has like a number of different paths, right? It's basically a number of different paths concatenated, delimited by a colon. Okay, so you have one path here, you have another path here, another path here, another path here, another one here, here, and here. Okay, now so you ask, why do we have like paths that are like so many paths in one variable? That's because like when you type in like a command, right, let's say ls, right, okay, your shell will look into the path variable and look for this command. Okay, so basically if you have your own custom command, the commands that you created, you could also add it to path, and then you can execute your own command. Okay, path is basically a path where like the shell will look for executable commands. Okay, when you type in something, when you type in ls, it will the shell will look into the path and look for this ls command. If it's found, it will execute that ls command. So that's basically what it is. Okay. PWD is for present working directory. That means we're currently at the root directory, which we are. Yes. See, this is the root directory. So we're at the root directory. Okay. If we change this to somewhere else, if we go to home, and then go to env, and then you see that my present working directory is changed to my home directory. Okay. This is for the encoding, the language encoding. This is a shell level. You can have like multiple level of shells. So I'll go with that next time. Yeah. Sudo command. I'm not familiar with that. Home. This is where it tells you where the home directory is, which is this one. Okay. Your login name. Okay. Display this color terminal, GNOME terminal. Okay. All present directory, which is the previous directory. Okay, and such and such. Okay, so that's the environment variables. Okay. Now, if you want to get the value of any specific environment variable, right? You can echo it. Okay, so echo basically like echoes out the value of a variable basically. So let's say if I want to know what shell I'm using, right? What I can do is I can do echo $shell. Okay. The dollar means like to use the value of it. Okay, so if you do echo $shell, you will see what kind of bash what kind of shell I'm using. Okay, so that's how you get the value of a variable. You always put a $sign before it. Okay, but to set something, to set a variable, you don't use the $sign. So $sign is always means that you want to get the value of a variable. But to set a variable, you could do let's say you could set any kind of variable. You could do a full C cast is equal to great, and then if you want to get that value, okay, notice that when I set the value, when I set the variable, I don't put a $sign. But when I want to get the value, when I want to retrieve the value, I'm gonna have to put in the dollar sign. Okay, and notice that environment variable doesn't have to be all capitalized. Okay. Yeah, I made it seem like it has to be capitalized, but you don't have. It doesn't have to be capitalized. Okay, so if you do echo dollar sign fuzzy cast, you get the variable, grade. Okay. But when you do this, right, it's not really an environment variable. It's just a variable that you set. That's it. It's not really an environment variable. To set an environment variable, right, you have to do export. Okay, so you have to do export fuzzy cast is equal to grade. Okay, then it becomes an environment variable. And how do we know that? We know that by doing the env. Okay, and where is it? Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Okay, so now it becomes an environment variable. You have to do an export for it to become an environment variable. Okay, and that's basically the environment variables that you have to go to. Okay, and to clear the screen, you can type in clear to clear the screen. Okay, and that's that. So let's see where we are right now. We're at this one. Okay, so if we want to get the display the whole file of the page.html, right? Let's say we want to see the whole content of page.html. We can do cat and then page.html. Okay, if we do cat.page.html, it will display the content of the file onto the standard output. Okay, so if I do that, it will display everything on the screen. Okay, it is display everything on the screen. Now when I say standard output, okay, standard output currently is being connected to the screen, to the console. Okay, so if you do a standard output, you know, it will, by default, it will display on the screen. Okay, but you could redirect the standard output to something else, maybe to a file or to a socket or something like that. Okay, so that's cat brings out everything. To get the to see the manual for each command, right? There's in Unix, you basically have a manual for every commands out there. Okay, so to get the manual, you type in man, okay, and then the command name. Okay, let's say we want to see the manual for cat. Okay, then you will get a documentation. Okay, you will get the documentation for this cat. Okay, and then it says name, you know, what it does, in concatenate files and print on the standard output, you know, and then the example of the usage, you know, you have cat, and you can set like a optional options over there, and then you can have like a file, optional file there, you know, so that's what it is. And then here you have like different options, right? So you have a -a, -b, -e, big E, -n, and stuff. Okay, so these are all the different options that you can set for a command. Okay, so let's pick something, right? Let's say, okay, this number is a number or the upper lines. Okay, so to get out of the manual, you just type in Q to quit. Okay, Q to quit. Okay, so press Q to get out. Okay, so we want to, so that one, cat -n, right? That's the option. And then the file name. Okay, now -n, according to the manual, it says it will print out the number lines along with the content of the file. Okay, so if I do a cat -n and then page.html, it will have the numbers right next to each line. Okay, so let's do that. So you see that it has a number for each line. Okay, so that's what it is. Okay, so you can go back and you can check it out, like different options in there. You know, show tab characters. Sometimes the tabs are invisible. Okay, and maybe you want to see that if the tab is there or not. Okay, so basically that's what it is. Okay, and then this is a pretty simple command. Most of the time I just use cat and with not much of options. Okay, next one is called reverse of cat, which is called tag. Okay, notice that it's a reverse of cat. See, literally it's a reverse of cat. Okay, and then you have this, and then you put in the page.html. It works the same thing as cat, but then notice this, it goes in the reverse order. You see, so HTML starts from here, head, and doesn't start from here, it ends from here. So it prints out the file in reverse order. That's what the tag is. Okay. And okay, so sometimes you have excuse me, you have a command that is so long, you know, that is so long that you know, it could be, it's like so, you know, maybe, you know, and then like you just keep on going and going, and you know, and then you have a long, basically you have a really long command which are concatenated by multiple commands. Okay, now if you need to go to the beginning of the line, okay, what you can do, you can press Control A. Okay, Control A to get to the beginning of the line. Okay, now if you want to go to the end of the line, what you can do is do a Control E to get to the end of the line. Okay. Now to clear the command line, right? Well, you can either one of the things you can do is that you can do a Control C. Control C in Unix, you know, it always means quit the process, basically, or quit whatever you're doing. Okay. So you would do Control C, you know, to get out of the whatever you're doing. Okay. Or you can do a Control O. Okay. So let's paste this. So if you do a Control O, I'm sorry, not Control O, Control U. Okay, Control U is a little bit different from Control C. Is a Control U. Basically, it's not quitting the whatever you're doing. It actually clears the command line. Okay, but I usually just do Control C because that's how I've been using it all the time. So that's how it is. Okay. And then let's do something called copy. Let's do some view this file, right? Maybe we can want to view this file in and we want to able to like you know, scroll back and forth. One of the problem with like catting the file to the standard output is because like sometimes you have a really big file, right? Maybe like a couple million lines of file. You don't want to like cat it to, you know, to the standard output, which is no good, right? So what you can do is that you can do a less, which is to view it. You can scroll through the file. You don't have to open the file, like, you know, the whole file at one time. So what you can do is you can do this one. Okay, you can do less and then the file name. Okay, and then you can go up, go down, up and down. Okay, basically you could scroll through the file however you like. Okay, I usually just open it with Vim. I don't do anything. I'm very careful with the Vim, so like, you know, I know that I won't modify it, but sometimes people use the less to look at the files. Okay, there's also another command to get out of the less. Just press Q to quit. Okay, there's another command called more. Okay, more is a little bit different. It's like more is you have to press enter to scroll down, but you cannot scroll back. Okay, so that's why it is. Okay, so that's why I like to use Vim, because like, you know, I know all the commands in Vim, so I can go through, you know, do the files very easily. I can look for different stuff, you know, and I believe you can do searching in the in less as well. So if you do a less, go print. Okay, you see you can also do like some, you know, these commands in there as well. Okay, let's see if it does something else. Yeah, basically it has like a very similar command line with the Vim, basically. Yeah, so you guys can totally use that, like, you know, as a Vim editor, like a read-only Vim editor, if you want. Okay, and then this command called cal, which give you the calendars of the current month, you know, highlights the current day. Okay, if you do a cal 2012, it give you the whole years of calendar. Okay, and if you do a cal maybe specific month, like say January 2012 or 13, January 2013, it give you the whole months of January 13, January 2013. I'm sorry. Yeah, so that's basically what it is. The command date give you the current time and stuff like that. It gives you everything. Okay, with Sunday, May 20th, 1905, blah blah blah, and so on. But sometimes you just want, like, maybe you just want like 2012, May 20th, something like that, right? So what you can do date plus, and then you really have to remember these what do you call that, like symbols. Okay, so for percentage, for year you put in the percentage y, okay, and then there's a hyphen after that, and then for month you put in the percentage m, and then there's a hyphen over there after that, and then there's for day you put in the percentage d. Okay, so when you do that, date plus percentage y minus percentage m and hyphen percentage d, okay, it will give you the in that format basically. Okay, so if you do a mandate, okay, you see that all different kind of stuff that you can do in there. Okay, this in Linux, okay, the date is a little bit different in Unix. In Unix you cannot specify, like you cannot put in an input string. Okay, but in Linux you could do that. In Linux you can say a month ago, a year ago, or a day ago, or something like that, or you can specify different dates. I'll show that to you in a bit. And then you can refund the file, set the time. Okay, so basically, but if the most important part we want to go is this part. Okay, see, these are format control for the output. Okay, much like in the programming, if you have ever programmed any programming language, you will know that, like, for formatting you will have different, like, percentage for dates, for date times. Okay, so you have percentage A for locales, abbreviated, Sunday. Just look through these, whatever kind of format that you would like to use. Just look up on the manual for date and then just use whatever you want. Okay, so this is the part. Okay. So it goes back to the last command, right? This one, right, where the formatting. So what if you want to if you want to get the date for yesterday, right? You will do that minus d and then 1 day ago. Okay. Okay. So minus d specifies, like, what you want to what do you want to use the date, like, I'm sorry, what you can specify the value for the date function to display basically. Okay, so if you do, like, maybe like 1 month ago, okay, you see, changes to April. Okay, let's see if it works for 1 year ago. 1 year ago, yeah, that works. 2 years ago, yeah, so you can specify that. And I believe you can also specify, if you want to give it a specific date, you can do that. Maybe like a 1999 January, December 30th. Yeah, you can do that as well. Okay, so you can give it, like, you can specify the value for the date function, for the date command to display basically. Okay, but in Unix environment, in Solaris environment, you cannot do that. That's the difference. Okay. Alright, what's next? Okay. Alright, there's a command called top, right? Top. Okay, top give you all the current processes that are running on your machine. So you see, like, you also see, like, a bunch of specs in there. You see that your CPU usage. Okay, this is the users CPU time, system CPU time, and let's see, you have the memories here. Yeah, I think 1 gig, and then how much the memory will use in here. Oh wow, it uses uses a lot of memories. No wonder it's very laggy. Maybe I should give it more memory. Anyway, and then you see here you have a list of processes that are currently running. Okay, you have the Firefox running, and stuff like that, and you see that how much memory they're using. This one is using 5.9% of the memory. Firefox is using 6.7%. In terms of CPU wise, this one is using 20%, and so on and so on. Okay, so that's what it is. And then to get out, just press Q. Okay, and that's it. Okay, so I will conclude this video right here, and I don't want to drag on for too long. And the Unix video series will be pretty long. There will be like a lot more episodes than the Vim edited tutorials. So I expect around like probably like in 7, 8, or maybe even like 11 videos. I'm not too sure yet. I haven't prepared the contents for all the videos yet, but that should be like, you know, should be more than that. If we want to include the shell, shell script tutorials into the Unix, it will be a lot more videos than that. Okay, so this is it for this video. Make sure to subscribe to facebook.com/FuzzyCast, and make sure to subscribe to my WordPress blog, and make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/UJDesigner85, and I'll see you next time. All right.